What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Real Reds Talk, an authentic football fan channel made in Manchester. The transfer merry-go-round continues tonight, and the topics on your TV, monitor, laptop screen, whatever it is. United offered Vlahovic. What do we think about him as a striker? Have Brentford found their Mbuemo replacement in Amari Hutchinson? United have been linked with Tolisso from Lyon. And also, Ekitike to Newcastle is heating up. Is that another striker off the market? I've got Mr. Samson alongside me. How are we doing, Sam?
Yeah, it's a little less hot in it, which is nice. So it's not 30 degrees anymore, so I'm all right with that.
I still feel like it's kind of a little bit humid, though. Like, you've got the storms kind of kicking off now. You've got a bit of, like, water in the air. It's just that kind of, like, I don't know. I always describe it as, like, Thailand weather. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but 30 degrees is too hot. Like, it's just, in England, it's too fucking hot. Like, it's just too much.
It is.
But 20 odd, 25, I could deal with. I'm all right with 25.
Bit too much. What about Vlahovic? Is that too much for a player to bring to Manchester United? Fabrizio Romano apparently saying he's been offered to United, but there are no negotiations as it stands with Juventus at the minute. United is still focused on securing Brian Mbuemo, and then obviously we know we will then move on to the number 9. But yeah, this name is something that keeps getting floated about at the minute. I think Juventus are trying to move him off the wage books. I think he's one of their highest earners, which is interesting in itself because obviously when you get a free agent, it's kind of like, well, what wage demand is he going to have? Is he going to want 300 grand a week? If so, will United do that? Probably not. But this is all kind of a case of post-COVID that this just keep trying to bring these contracts down. And they're not the only club. There's a lot of clubs, including ourselves, who are trying to do it. So that's one situation to focus on in terms of the contract. As a player as well, there are doubts. Obviously, me and you don't watch Italian football week in, week out. We've seen bits and bobs with him, international football, etc. But does this move the needle for you, Sam, given the striker market at the minute?
It doesn't really, does it? Don't feel like it. I don't know his record off the top of my head, but it's not poor, but it's not amazing,
like
is it?
14 a season or something, let's say.
Yeah, which is... It's all right.
It's all right.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's not bad.
But it's in Serie A, which we know we've had a lot of issues with players who come from the Italian league, and it's not worked out. He's on a lot of money. Is he willing to take a wage cut to come here? I don't know. I doubt it. Like, not many players take a wage cut, but stranger things have happened. How old is he? 20?
I think mid-20s. From what I...
So at least the age is all right. Maybe if you get him on a free, there might be a bit of sell on there if he works out, or he doesn't work out for a couple of seasons, maybe not. I don't know. It doesn't scream, yes, that's a guy I can get behind. Like, that doesn't scream someone I can get behind. But it might come to the end of July, beginning of August, and we're scrambling around for a striker, and that might have to be the option.
Well, when you read his profile, because as I said, I don't watch Italian football, I don't watch Juventus week in, week out, so I can only go off clips I've seen, but I read an article before about him to see basically like where he's at the minute and what he's good at and what he's bad at, and every time I was reading it, all the things that was popping up, I just kept hearing Højlund in my head. So the notes I made from the article and the points that were made, as patches where he looks elite, followed by quiet stretches, so he's very inconsistent. He's got good movement in the box, not great at link-up. His back-to-goal play isn't great, which Højlund isn't, of course. Very left-foot reliant, which Rasmus Højlund is very left-foot reliant as well. Frustration, body language, and link-up play under tight pressure as well isn't great. So it just seems like all the similar traits, but maybe this Vlahovic is just a little bit older. But I don't know, like, we're going to speak about Ekitike a little bit later on. If he ends up going to Arsenal, what striker pool are we looking at the minute?
Newcastle, you mean?
What did it say? Did it say Arsenal?
Arsenal. Arsenal signed Gyökeres.
Gyökeres. Arsenal signed Gyökeres. So that's another striker off the market.
Yeah. It might be a last minute thing. Like, we've seen links to that. Apparently the agents of Jamie Vardy, Callum Wilson, Dominic Calvert-Lewin have been offered to us. But United are not making any moves for them. People saw the headline and were like, why are we going for them? We're not. The agents have offered them to United, which is what's happened here. Agents of Vlahovic have offered us to us. We haven't gone in for them. So it might be a case of having to get one of those at the end of the window just for the sake of having a striker in, because we can't go into another season just relying on Rasmus Højlund. Like, it just can't happen because you saw what happened last season. Like, and whether that it's a high risk if, say, we do get Mbuemo in, it's a high risk depending on Rasmus Højlund and thinking Cunha and Mbuemo are going to change something to help him become a 15, 20 goal a season striker, isn't it?
Is that good enough though, Vlahovic, for the season?
It's probably not, but give me another option.
Well, I don't know.
Do you know
Watkins,
what I mean?
60 million.
Watkins could be something Premier League proven. That's definitely an option. But apart from that, the numbers are thin. Like we said, Ekitike, possibly to Newcastle, but whether we really in for him anyway at 100 million, probably not. Gyökeres has gone to Arsenal. Osman is determined to go to Galatasaray, but I think they've just had another bid rejected because they wanted to pay 45 up front and then installments of 15. So, and I think his wages are out of control anyway, so that's not an option. So we're running out of players here.
Well, let's ask the chat then. Any options? Let us know. There's quite a few of you in there. Please do leave a like on the video for us and subscribe to the channel. We've asked at the start of the video, would you sign Vlahovic? And 70% said no. 30% said yes, which I find fascinating. I did put it on Twitter as well, which we've got a few more votes on it. It's very close on Twitter. It's got 97 votes, and it's 46% yes, 54% no. So it's very close. We was discussing in the chat, weren't we? Like, why do you think they've gone for Mbuemo before a striker? Because they brought Cunha in, so it's like, okay, we've got an attacking 10 there. Why? What do you reckon the strategy is in going for Mbuemo rather than a 9? Do
you reckon Delap was the target? Like, they went, right, we've got, because we were hearing numbers with 100 million to spend this summer before sales. So Cunha is 62.5, and then Delap would have been 30, so that would take you up to 92.5. So that would be near to your 100 million. Now, if we're getting Mbuemo as well, that's just over 100. There's like, what, 110, 120 million? Yeah. So there's your two options. So I think they're so far down this hole that I think they're also probably expecting to have sales by now, which they haven't had. Like, Garnacho's still here, Rashford's still here, Sancho's still here, Malassia's still here. Like, there's Anthony's still here. I think they're probably expecting some sales at this point, which they could reinvest, and we haven't got that, which I know a lot of people will touch on the story about them not training together as well. But, like, is that had an effect on numbers? We've seen Laura Whitwell saying that a lot of clubs are waiting until the last minute to put in a bid because they'll get a lower price. So is that affecting things as well? So I find it hard to believe as well that there's not multiple people able to deal with multiple transfers. Yeah. Like, why is everybody working on one transfer? That seems a bit weird to me.
Well, I've got a difficult question for you and a difficult question for the chat as well. So the money it looks like we're going to spend on Mbuemo is probably around 65 million quid in it, I think, roughly, give or take, somewhere around that kind of fee.
Yeah.
Would you rather have spent that on the striker?
Who would you get, though? Depends who your striker is.
No, because you can go early then, can't you? If you've got 65 million, because they've been in talks with Mbuemo for 5 weeks, Sam, don't forget. 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So that was the start of June we're talking about, maybe a little bit on, around the time we signed Matheus Cunha. So there were strikers available on the market right there. 2 of them have gone, or look like they're going.
Well, we went in for Delap and he chose Chelsea, didn't he? Yeah. Like, we were in for Delap, he chose Chelsea. Gyökeres set his stall out early and said, I prefer Arsenal. So were we early in for the race there? Like, did we stand a chance without sort of chucking a shit ton of money at him?
Could you have been a bit more aggressive with it? I don't know. I'm just thinking, like,
what would change his mind? Like, because we're not in the Champions League, we're not in any European competitions for that matter. Without chucking a load of money at him, what would convince him? Because I thought the Amrin factor would be something, but apparently not. Apparently it's not. So I don't know what you could do to convince him.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they could have been a little bit more proactive in that striker situation. Because right now I'm thinking Cunha's brought in. You have Ahmad who can play there. You have Bruno who can advance into there at times as well. We don't really have a striker at the minute. Maybe you should have spent that. I love Mbuemo. I think if he comes in, I think he's been an incredible player. But I don't know. I just think it's something to think about.
Do you think, like, say Mbuemo does come in, do you think we'll see Cunha play in the 9 for the start of the season?
I think we'll definitely see him appear there. I don't want to see him there frequently. Like, I don't want him to become, kind of the replacement 9 because we haven't got one, because his best position, as you've seen for Wolves a million times, is on that left-sided 10. So I hope not, but I think definitely they'll be looking at that. They'll be thinking, we've got versatile players here. If we need Josh in the 10, we'll play in there. If we need Bruno, you know what I mean? Like they'll tweak it around, I imagine, but it's not ideal really when you're trying to build consistency in a team. And yeah, I can imagine the pelters already from fans. If Cunha has a bit of a stinker in the 9, people are going to be like, "Oh, we didn't bring him in for this."
I didn't sign a striker. Yeah. Do
you know what I mean? Right, let's see what Harvey's saying. Good evening. Does Shreyas have a channel? He does have a channel. It's Real Red Talk. We're on it right now. In terms of an individual channel, he doesn't. No, but yeah, I don't know if you want to follow him on Instagram. Then I think it's Shreyas Neon. Go for it. Johnny Hill says Ineos telling Bruno that they don't need to sell him because they have funds. Ineos have put the club in this situation with this window. Shakur Arrington says, hi, would you take Watkins as a striker? Would you be happy if that news broke right now? Let's say Ormstein dropped a bombshell now, Sam. Ollie Watkins, to United, 60 million, 200k a week. Thoughts?
I think 60 million is a bit much. I think it's a lot of money.
Why? Because of his age?
Yeah, his age. How long's he got in his contract? Is he in the last 2 years of his deal?
No idea.
And it sort of they I think Aston Villa in PSR sort of restrictions, they have worries, which is why they're trying to shift people like Watkins and Martinez off the wage bill and stuff. So yeah, I think if we get the price down a little bit, 45 with add-ons, I'd be all right with that. Yeah, I think there's worse players you could go and get as a striker. He's Premier League proven. We went through his stats the other week, didn't we? He's like 3 seasons in a row. He's been consistent, scoring like 15, 16 goals. Yeah. England striker. He's played in the Champions League, played in finals for England and stuff. So yeah, I think 45, 50 million, I'd be all right with that.
I'm just having a look, double checking his stats now. So in total, 75 goals, 36 assists in 180 games. So not only just kind of scoring goals, you have those kind of selfish strikers, but you also look for other players around him as well. I'm just curious as to what United would offer Watkins to convince him. Because again, similar situation, isn't it? Where you're like, all right, well, you lot finished 15th last season. Villa are still, probably top 6 worthy, you would say. They only just missed out on Champions League, and that's because Martinez is a fucking idiot.
Well, yeah, because they faced us and couldn't beat us. So.
Yeah, which is mental. But yeah, I don't know what you offer Watkins at the minute. Like, yes, please do move from a club you're doing really well at the minute, really consistent. You're adored by the fans and become the number 9 for us. Maybe Man United is still a pull. I don't know. It's just a weird situation.
Well, it clearly is because Cunha's joined us, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So there's a pull there. He did feel with his nose a bit out of joint, didn't he, by Villa last season? Because they were playing Rashford over him, they're playing Sentinel over him.
How funny is that?
Stuff like that. So, like, maybe he still feels a bit of sort of irritability towards them. And he's like, look, I don't want to, if they say they bring in somebody else, I'm not sitting on the bench.
Yeah. Whereas
he could come to United and he'll play week in, week out, and he's the main striker. So maybe that's something.
The weird thing is with me, it wouldn't be even like top 3 options for me. At the start of the window when you're looking at strikers, like it wasn't even someone.
We're at now. But where we're at now,
wasn't someone I considered at all.
Needs must, innit? That's where we're at now.
Yeah, I think out of everyone right now, is there a better option?
Probably not.
I don't think there is. Unless something pops up, I'm not sure. I've seen people talk about Moise Keane and players like that, but that's such a risk for someone who initially didn't make it with Everton in the Premier League, went over.
And he gets subbed
league.
at half time by Ancelotti when he's here. So it's not a great.
Don't fill you with confidence, was it? Right, back to the chat. I'm worried about who our goalkeeper is going to be. We need a proper starting goalkeeper, and we seem to be only looking at cheap backups to Onana. Johnny Hill, sir, you are spot on. I think, what was the name? John Victor, Sam? Victor John?
Yeah, John Victor. Yeah.
Or it could be Shreyas' Nana. Who knows? Don't know yet.
Could be.
Yeah,
could be.
Muppeteer says Watkins would definitely come to United. And Frozen says we should wait and get Vlahovic for free after contract termination. Interesting. Very interesting. All right, let's move the conversation on then, because this number 9 thing seems to be very stale at the minute. So for any kind of updates on that, bottom right-hand corner of your screen, just below me here, Instagram, TikTok, X, and you will get minute-by-minute updates on whatever the situation is. Romano reporting before Sam Brentford is showing initial interest in Amari Hutchinson as a possible replacement for Brian Mbuemo in case of his departure with United working on the deal. Obviously, we all remember Amari Hutchinson. I think Johnny Evans certainly remembers Amari Hutchinson as well, giving utter nightmares in that first game under Amorim. But yeah, does that fill you any kind of positivity? You've seen rumours end of this week. I know we've been I'm almost done talking about Mbuemo. I really, really am.
Yeah.
But if they're looking at a replacement, does that signal a shift? Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, it does seem like their intent is he's probably going to go. Well, when that is, God knows when that is, because it could be tomorrow, it could be August. I don't fucking know at this point.
Yeah.
But Fabrizio Romano is going to milk it until the end of time, apparently.
It's annoying, isn't it? Can we just say that?
Shit.
Just
Romano.
Stop. It's an update and reworded through ChatGPT, and then he posts it. That's what he's done.
Just let it until there's an actual piece of information that's new.
Please.
Leave it. Let it alone.
Please.
But yeah, I think it'd be interesting. I'm so honestly, every time someone mentions Mbuemo, I have a sigh of, do you know what I mean? I'm just like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
But if they're looking at other players, then yeah, it's a promising thing, because normally you'd only look at replacements if you think you're potentially going to lose a player. So I suppose it's positive, but yeah, I like you, I'm very much sick of talking about Brian Mbuemo. I think even that do you know the hit that we got when Ornstein announced that we're in for him and he wanted to join us?
Yeah, that's
gone now. Even when they announce here we go and it's done, that's gone. I'm not even going to be excited because
no one's asked.
Taken out of me now.
Yeah. I feel like journalists should have a limit of how many times they can report on one single player, because I think if you was to add up the amount of posts that Romano's done about Mbuemo, it's got to be reaching 20-25 individual posts. Easy. And you know why he does it? You look at his interactions. I mean, the Madueke one he's just put up, it's got 55 million interactions.
Yeah.
So he's keeping himself in the flow.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, they're all just updates. So without anything, people are picking words from it and rephrasing it and being like, oh, it's advanced. And he's just like, it's not. It's in the same position that it was in.
When we get on to Tolisso, I want to read the fucking phrasing that the guy from L'Equipe put in, because that is amazing bullshittery that I've seen in article phrasing. Like,
do you want to go for it? Because we'll move on to Tolisso now, or I can read it out.
Yeah,
and you can.
Yeah. So you want to read out the full article, and I'll just highlight the bit that I think.
Well, the bit I've got is Manchester United have inquired with Corentin Tolisso's entourage to study the feasibility of a transfer. That's what I've got. So
what, to study the feasibility of a transfer?
Yeah,
is
the
that
wording's funny, isn't it?
Keeping tabs? Is that monitoring? Like, what the fuck is study the feasibility of a transfer mean?
Tolisso left Bayern Munich, joined Lyon, and he was kind of found his home there and found his place and his level. We had spurts at Bayern, but wasn't incredible. And then when I watched him play against us in Europa League, I thought, he's all right. It's not bad. He's not someone I'd go out and buy, though, for United. I'm like,
no,
we need fucking way more than Tolisso.
Yeah, you need a quality midfielder. Tolisso is a decent to average Europe midfielder. Like, he's not a top class or a hungry prospect of a midfielder. Yeah. Like, he's just not on that list. But yeah, we definitely should do a bingo card, because that's a new one. I haven't seen study the feasibility of a transfer before. That's a new one. We've seen keeping tabs, we've seen monitoring, we've seen interested, we've seen all those ones, but that's a new one. So we need to add that to the bingo card, because that's an interesting phrasing.
There must be a book that they all tap into for certain words. And just say, have you used this one yet, mate? And they go, no, I've not used that. I'm like, okay, cool. I'll go for that. Entourage to study the feasibility of a transfer. Also, he's 30 years old as well, Tolisso. 30 years old.
No, absolutely not.
Come off it, man. Jesus. We should wait. Oh, sorry, I read that out. We should sign players off the elk of which Chelsea is signing João Pedro. Can we speak about Chelsea, actually? I appreciate this is a Man United channel, but because you mentioned Liam Delap before. What is going on at Chelsea? It seems like it's madness but somehow there's method to the madness. You know, beating
Yeah, it's
PSG
working.
in a Club World Cup. João Pedro looks fucking on fire, by the way. Unbelievable.
Cole Palmer
Palmer
looks like a world beater.
cooking. Like 2 goals and assists last night. Enzo Maresca like doing bits with like tactics, and you look at it and thinking, do you think they could actually challenge next season?
Yeah, absolutely. We all joke about them chucking money and hoarding players and stuff, but the players they've got are very good. They've got some really, really good players. I still find it hilarious that they won't buy a goalkeeper though. That's fucking
Very
hilarious.
weird. Yeah.
Like they just they refuse to buy a goalie. They'll buy 16 wingers and 4 strikers, but they will not buy a goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Bizarre to me. But anyway.
Maybe.
But yeah, they've got quality.
Sorry, I was just going to say, we was looking at the attackers, weren't we? The wingers and strikers and stuff.
Yeah.
And we was like, how on earth are all these going to get enough game time? But you just seen Madueke go to Arsenal. I'm not sure if that was pushed more by the club. I'm not entirely sure on that situation.
Maybe.
Obviously, Mudrik's been fucking suspended.
Sterling will go as well, won't he?
Sterling will. I don't know where he's going to go, but he'll end up somewhere. So maybe I don't know. They've done it almost the opposite way to us. It's like the trimming the squad or the bloating the squad and then trimming it down, which is very risky. Yeah. But I don't know. But they're a good selling club, aren't they, Chelsea? To be fair.
Yeah, but like we've talked about before, Chelsea see players as commodities. They don't see them as human beings. It's like, let's get him in to win this, and then we can sell him for X amount in a few years, or he can help us win this, which would get us more money and blah, blah, blah. Like, there's a lot of sort of financial fuckery, as I call it, going on there. Like them selling hotels to themselves and
women's
that kind
team,
of stuff.
Big, long contracts.
8-year deals and split the payments out over 8. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on there, which is a bit sort of dodgy. But so far, didn't they get fined by UEFA recently?
Yeah, sure then there was a couple of clubs on there. I think it was like Chelsea, City, and Villa, was it, or something?
Yeah. So, a fine doesn't really mean much to a club with money, does it? So I don't. But like they've got their forward line is really interesting. Even their backups are really good. Like Pedro Neto's a really good player.
Yeah.
I know another thing is why would Sancho not want to be a part of that? Like they offered him a deal, like a wage and a contract.
180k a week, apparently.
That's what I mean. But like, why? Look at him. They're winning a Club World Cup. He's in a good team. Why would you not want to be a part of that? No, like it's bizarre to me.
Weird.
So bizarre.
And now it seems like, well, maybe he wants some weird way in his head. He wants guaranteed playing time. And I think maybe at Chelsea, chopping and changing quite a bit. Whereas if he was to go to Juventus, I think because Conceição, one of their wingers, moving on, he would get maybe a prime position there. I don't know. Maybe that's the thinking in it.
Maybe.
It's kind of slower league, would suit him more a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just trying to put myself in Sancho's shoes, which you never want to do, apart from the money, because the money's really good, obviously.
Oh, yeah, I'd take the money all day.
I'd take that in a fucking heartbeat. 300 grand a week. Jesus Christ.
If I was on 300k a week, I'd go online for an hour every day and just take abuse from the fans.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, say what you want. But I'm earning 300k.
I'd go on a live and do it. I would be like, roast of Sancho. That's what I'd do.
What have you got, mate? What have you got?
A lot of money flying around in football, isn't it? It's crazy. Speaking of a lot of money, Newcastle apparently have submitted an official bid today to Eintracht Frankfurt for Hugo Ekitike. Proposal higher than 70 million euros previously offered by another club this summer. Wonder who that other club is. That's interesting. With Newcastle pushing to get the deal done. Now, a couple of conversations around this, again, in the famous WhatsApp chat, was the situation with Isaac and Ekitike and how that's going to work and the dynamics. But when we did a live, we did a late night live, didn't we, when we first initially got linked with him, and it's a player that we was looking at, although it might be a bit expensive. That kind of player, the transitional threat, someone who loves space, eats up ground, he's rapid, very quick, instinctive feet. He looked very exciting, but again, it's a player who's raw. And it's a bit of a risk, more so for us, because we don't have a striker. We only have young strikers at the club. Whereas Newcastle right now, arguably, has one of the best strikers in the world. So, thoughts on that transfer?
Yeah, it's a good move for Newcastle. Like, they're in the right spot to bring in that sort of player. He'll be surrounded by top players. Like you said, Isaac is one of the best strikers in Europe. He's got a midfield behind him who's arguably one of the best, most physical midfielders in Premier League, if not Europe, like Tonali, Joe Linton, Gamadesh, Anthony Gordon as well on his day is a very good player. So yeah, he's coming into a team that he should be really positive and sort of happy about. I've seen with Ornstein as well. He said he's going to play alongside Alexander Isak, because when I saw it, I thought, oh, he's coming in. Maybe Isaac's on his way to Liverpool. Maybe that's what's happening.
Right. Okay. So you're thinking the
Ornstein is saying he's playing alongside him. So it'll be interesting to see how they sort of figure that out.
Yeah, because Ekitike, from what I've seen, he does like to drift over to the left-hand side, so more of an inside forward. I don't know how that dynamic's going to work, but...
So would Gordon go out to the right then?
I mean, you can chop and change, can't you? You can put Langer on the right, and you can put Ekitike on the left, sub Gordon, put Isaac up top. Just fluidity and options for the front three, I'd imagine. But
if they're spending 70 million, I think, is it 70 million euros or something?
Yeah.
Surely they're going to have to sell someone, because they've just spent 55 on Elanga. Surely they're going to have to sell someone now.
I don't know. So, because they got Champions League football, didn't they? So
yeah. It's interesting anyway. Yeah, but my conspiracy theory was maybe Isaac's on his way to Liverpool. Maybe that's what's happening, but maybe not.
They've made some good signings, though, haven't they? Newcastle so far. And you think about the way they play. The first thing I think of straight away with Newcastle is speed. Speed and transitions and physicality. They have got everything that we crave as a team at United. Like, you look at the size of Joe Linton, how much Tonali and Gomara's run. Ilanga, who just brought in, who we know obviously all about, is rapid. Yeah. Do you remember that goal actually scored against us last season?
Ilanga? Yeah. Just ran for it. Was behind the halfway line, I think?
It was from a corner, wasn't it?
Yeah.
From a corner, counter attack.
Disgraceful.
Killed us.
Elanga's always been an athlete, though, hasn't he? Like, even at United, he didn't stop, did he? He was just up and down, like, never stopped. Yeah. And Newcastle as well have been in for some good players. Like, obviously, they were in for Mbuemo. I'm sure they were in for João Pedro as well. I think. Yeah, Chelsea snagged him. Correct. So they're going after the right players, and now it's paying off. They're getting some of them. Obviously, you're not going to get everybody, but they're getting some of the quality players in now, which it's a well-run recruitment department. So, yeah, credit to them.
T2 in the chat saying, if Chelsea ever make it click consistently, there'll be a problem. They have so many good young players. UTFR in the chat as well. Big up Nath. T2 Diezo. Surely Isaac moving on if they're spending that kind of wedge on a striker. Maybe. And Newcastle are doing everything right. What a signing Ekitike is. He does fit. It seem a little bit similar to Isaac, and they did spend a similar amount of money on Isaac as well when he was at Villarreal. Yeah. And at the time, I remember quite a lot of people was like,
"Not Real Sociedad." Was it not
Real Sociedad? Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Not Villarreal. Real Sociedad. I think they spent around £60 million on him, and there was a few kind of eyebrows raised. So I think there'll be a lot more confidence from Newcastle fans in particular if they go spend that money on Ekitike. And also, when we were speaking about Ekitike, weren't they saying like 100 million euros?
Yes.
Sure, that was the quote. So that's dropped that's quite significantly.
Yeah, and I saw as well that apparently Newcastle have been interested in since the end of the season, but they didn't make their move until July because of the financial year and stuff like that. So apparently they've been in for him for a while, but they just haven't made an official bid till now. So
yeah, how depressing. I'd love something like Ekitike. Although I know I appreciate it. I've said before it would be a risk, and I get that.
I'd take João Pedro. I'd take Ekitike. I'll take anybody at this point. Just give me someone, please.
Absolutely. Look, we're hoping, praying, craving some form of updates from transfers. As you guys all know, the majority of you already follow socials anyway. Everything up to date with whatever it is, whether it's a new stadium, transfers, news in general, Amarin quotes, player quotes, all on the Instagram. Please do go give that a follow, and X as well. And for any clips from the show, as we saw the other day with the infamous Shreyas wants his nana in net, them kind of clips will be on TikTok and stuff if you're into that kind of stuff. So yeah, please do drop us a follow. Hopefully we'll have some movement very, very shortly. We can all be discussing a new signing because we've ran Cunha dry, we've ran the Mbuemo story dry. Let's hope for a bit of a spark of intent from Manchester United. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining us. This has been Transfer News Show with me, myself, and Sam. Subscribe to the channel. We're close to 20k. We'll see you guys tomorrow.